to our first sew along. We are so excited to be a part of your life again. And before we get started, there are a few things that I forgot to mention in our little ad that you saw last week. And some of them are not essential, but you do need pins that are for knit. A jersey or ballpoint needle is what you'll need. I just said pins, but I meant needles. And then you'll also need a twin needle. And they come in all different sizes. The first number is the distance apart. So this is a 2.5, and it's a 75 as far as the size of the needle, and that's great. And it is also for knits. So let's get started. You will need your Nora pattern and pull the sizes you need. You will not need the circle skirt for view A, but you will need the front and the back and the sleeve, and you will need the facing pieces. And it will say back facing and front facing. Now be careful, because there are also a back and front template, and you don't want those. These are the actual pattern pieces. The templates are not pattern pieces. So once you pull all of that together, we'll get started. So what you're going to do to start with is just simply trace your facing piece, just as it is on the pattern. So you will get it all traced, and I'm just going to, for right now, normally you would trace the neckline too, but just to speed up a little bit, I'm just going to trace a little bit of the lower edge, because that's the only place we're going to change it right now, is just on the lower edge. And then what you're going to do is you're going to increase that lower edge line by a certain amount. So when you get ready to trace your patterns, when you're at this point, go to the Children's Corner blog, and there will be a chart showing you how much to increase it depending on the size of your garment. So we will have that up for you on the blog, and you can even just print off that chart so that you can keep it with your pattern. So just for the sake of time, let's just say we're going to increase it a half an inch. So what you would do is just go along the bottom edge of your facing, increasing it a half an inch all the way. Once you do that, then just go back and connect the dots. Once you've done the front or the back, then finish with the other one, and you will have your two facing pieces. That's all. Well, that's really all the drafting you'll have to do. You'll see what we're going to do next. So we're going to put that aside, and next you're going to get out your front and your back. And you can do one of two things here. You can either trace this, or you can just fold it. What we're going to do is we're going to shorten the bodice to an empire waist for the smaller sizes, and then when we get to the bigger sizes, like 7 to 14, we'll probably make it more of a, they were probably going to like a more of a waistline dress than an empire waist. So those measurements will also be on the blog, and what those measurements are is what your new length for your side seam will be. So for this one, I have a red dot on here already, and the new length for this one was 3 inches. So I just put a little red dot there. And then I put my tissue paper on here and traced it, and then just drew a line perpendicular from the place on fold line. And then you're done. So if you want to cheat a little bit and not trace it, you can fold it and then fold it again and again, and then just use your regular pattern piece. Sometimes I really like to keep my patterns together, even the ones I've drafted or adapted in some way. And so I would suggest that you go ahead and trace it. That way you can keep your new bodice with your new, what is going to be your collar. They're facings right now. So that is it for getting ready with your pattern. And next, before we go any further, I was going to talk to you about the horrible curling of your knit. This is a Robert Kaufman knit. It only has 5% lycra in it, and that's all it takes for it to turn into a curly knit. So what I found that really works best is spray starch. This actually is a heavy hold. If you don't have that, you may just need to do what I'm doing twice instead of just once. But we will take, this little iron is great. And you'll need to iron it till it's dry. And you just spray it on the edges. You don't have to spray the whole piece of fabric. So I'm not going to continue ironing this until it's dry. It will feel a little stiff. And I will say that the more you handle this after you've starched it, the more it's going to start to roll again. It only works so long. So don't wait long to get your fabric pinned together and stitched. And once you've stitched it, then you don't have anything to worry about. I was also going to talk about, I kind of got ahead of myself, but when you have your fabric and you fight and fight with the edges rolling, and usually the selvage edges don't roll much, but the cut edges do. And so a lot of times what I'll do, especially when I'm going to cut the skirts, or when I want to get my pattern piece really close to the edge, I'll go through and pin horizontally to the cut edge, and that, you can see, that'll hold it from and keep it from curling, so that you can then put your pattern piece pretty close. Just be careful when you're cutting out that you don't cut a pin. When you are cutting out your dress, I would suggest you cut out your skirts first, and there again, they'll be on the blog, the skirt panels. There'll be 2, and get those cut out first, and then your bodices, and then finally your facings, which are now your collars. On mine, I am going to make a white collar. So I used a Sea Island knit for my white collar. So next time I see you, we will start sewing.